The thing about Michelle Obama is she's always negative. Everything she says has got a negative spin on it. She's negative about the country. She's negative about her time as first lady. She's very negative about her husband. I fully believe that they have a bad marriage. She did not marry the right person. It's not a good match. She almost never says anything nice about him. That too, she's now trying to defend as somehow, I don't know, this is like a racial attack when people say this. You tell me if you can figure it out.
Michelle says this is why she skipped Trump's inauguration.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that. But then this is what makes it hard because, my decision to skip the inauguration, what people don't realize, or my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism. Like people couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart.
Right.
While I'm here really trying to own my life and intentionally practice making the choice that was right for me. And it took everything in my power to not do the thing that was right or that was perceived as right, but do the thing that was right for me. Mm-hmm. That was a hard thing for me to do. Mm-hmm. I had to basically trick myself out of it. And it started with not having anything to wear. I mean, I had affirmatively, because I'm always prepared for any funeral, anything. I walk around with the right dress. I travel with clothes just in case something pops off. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if I'm not going to do this thing, I got to tell my team, I don't even want to have a dress ready. Yeah. Right? Because it's so easy to just say, let me do the right thing.
But then you become a shock absorber.
Yeah.
And that's what women are.
Yeah.
Shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting. And it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It is not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You've had to be shock absorbers for your husband, for your children, for your mom, for your family, your loved ones, because of where you were sitting in the public eye. Mm-hmm. That's not fair to you. When do you ever get to live for you? Mm-hmm. I applaud you. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that you are taking care of yourself in the way that you need to.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama going on a podcast to explain why she didn't go to Trump's inauguration. I was like, girl, you never needed to explain to me. I understood from the moment I saw you weren't there. I said, exactly, girl, keep your peace.
Y'all do understand that Michelle Obama doesn't owe you any explanation about why she's not showing up to certain events, right? She shouldn't have to explain that her marriage is not in shambles simply because she didn't show up to events she just didn't want to go to. And what's so interesting to me is that nobody has the same questions for the actual first lady, especially because she consistently looks like she's being held hostage. Why are y'all not questioning their marriage? Because it doesn't seem like she's a willing participant. And on top of that, we barely hear from Melania, and she's the sitting first lady. The last time I seen Melania, she was standing on that balcony with Donald Trump and an Easter bunny, waving, not saying a word. And never mind when she was done being first lady the first time, I forgot she even existed. But the expectation on Michelle Obama is so much higher. Why? Because she's a Black woman. She is about 3 or 4 people removed from that Oval Office, and y'all still want to know what she got going on in her life. None of your business.
She literally says this like it's a problem. Continuous happiness should be the goal. And it is a low-income mindset to not believe that that is possible. Wealthy people are happy most of the time. When you're not struggling with your basic needs and you can fulfill a lot of your wants, you can be happy most of the time. A lot of people are just content. And we have to accept that. I want to create a world where most people can experience continuous happiness, and that is possible. We can have a world where no one has to worry about their basic needs. We can have a world where everyone can have maybe $5,000 a year to spend on their wants. That could be the poor. Poor could be basic needs covered and $5,000 a year for your wants.
Michelle Obama did not go to the inauguration, and people thought her marriage was falling apart. Can you imagine being somebody of influence and always having the pressure to do what you think is right, and really it's just right for the people and not for you? For those of us who want to be famous, y'all need to go watch this full interview from her saying this, because she dropped some really good nuggets that I think would help us a lot. She talks more in depth about really taking control of her life and doing what's right for her. My question is, do you think that you could really handle being in the spotlight? Like, for real, ask yourself that question. Fame is not for everybody. And I feel like fame really reaches the right people that it needs to reach in life. People who are actually able to handle this kind of toughness and this kind of pressure from the public, from people who they don't even know. And better yet, from people who don't know them. And I want to leave you with one last thing, because everyone wants to go viral. And there's nothing wrong with that. But can you handle randoms in your comments trolling you? Like, those are questions we really need to ask before we start pursuing something like this. Even if you can't handle it, are you disciplined enough to not read the comments? It's a cold world out here. And you realize that whenever you prop up your phone, get on here and you go viral, you realize that people really just be talking out the side of their neck. They don't know you from Adam, and so they feel so comfortable insulting you, saying whatever they want to say about you. Maybe not knowing that you may read the comment, but like they feel no remorse. They feel no shame. And so you just got to be really careful, especially with the sensitivity that people have in this day and age.
Basically, Michelle Obama said starting this year, she was making decisions based on what was good for her. So essentially on her new podcast where Taraji P. Henson is the guest, she's addressing her not going to the inauguration. And she basically said she made the decision for her and then goes on to say that people essentially just couldn't handle it. They just couldn't believe that. So they started to create the narrative about her marriage being on the rocks, because obviously she didn't attend Trump's second inauguration. She also didn't attend Jimmy Carter's funeral, where she was going to be set next to Donald Trump. I don't know what people are struggling with. Donald Trump has treated the Obama family horribly for years. Why would she subject herself to being sitting in a room with him? Basically, she said she is starting to practice the art of saying no. And you know what? I love that for her.
What are y'all thinking about the Michelle Obama podcast? I personally love it. I feel like she is living in her truth, and she is speaking straight from the heart. She's being authentic, and she is telling it like it is. What I really love about the podcast is that she recently started talking about as to why she did not go to the inauguration. Now, me personally, I don't feel like she should have had to explain why she didn't want to go to the inauguration. I feel like Black women already got to explain enough as it is. Why did she have to explain? When the first lady herself, Melania Trump, she don't have to explain anything, and she is always looking like she is a hostage every single day. We can all tell that she don't want to be with that orange man, but she is. So why is it that Melania don't have to explain why she is showing up to things looking like she don't want to be there, but Michelle Obama have to explain why she wasn't there? I don't really feel like she needed to explain, but it was very nice to get her take on it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, and do you feel like she shouldn't have explained anything?
Hey there, hey, how y'all doing? All right, let's go and get into this lady right here. I love her. I love me some Michelle Obama. Always have. Y'all know me, I love women who have style and grace and class. And it's just, this lady is the epitome of class. Now, let's get into this. So, back when Frumpy the Turd got, in the inauguration and everything, she chose not to go. She had already said she wasn't going. Why did she get so much flack? See, double standard. When Joe Biden became the president after he beat Frumpy, Frumpy did not attend Joe Biden's inauguration. Nobody said, MAGA didn't have nothing to say. MAGA sat there and praised and worshiped, fuming, but praised and worshiped their Lord and Savior, Frumpy the Turd, and didn't have anything to say about him not going, didn't call him classless, didn't say anything. Nobody had nothing to say. This woman right here said she wasn't going. They called her every name in the book. Went back to calling her a man, saying all kind of stupid shit. because she said she wasn't going. Now, I said from the jump, I said, she don't want to go. I said, that's it. She don't want to go. And I'm not mad at her. She just didn't want to. And when she came out and said she didn't want to. She knew it. She didn't try to get nothing together. I knew what it was from the jump. Now, but y'all came up with all kind of stories that her and Obama getting a divorce. That's why he didn't buy something. No, Obama was there because he felt he had to go ahead and fulfill his obligation as a former president and be there. Me, being me, I was there. I'm not going either. I looked at my wife, Michelle, as my wife. Hey, babe, let's go on vacation somewhere. Let's go down to Hawaii. Let's go to our house in Hawaii. Let's go anywhere. I wouldn't have went either. But and what cracked me up though is you had some black people saying she should have been there because of conditioning. People don't want to come out of their conditioned mind. Black people said she should have went. Why? To show she support. That'd have been a lie because she doesn't support him. So that'd have been a lie. Because you go to me if I attend anything, if I attend your wedding, inauguration, your induction to something, that means I support. If I don't support you. Now, people who know me know. If I don't support somebody, I don't give a who it is. I ain't going. It would have been another thing like when my grandmother's husband died when I was 15. And my mom was like, we need to be there. What will people say? Now, I couldn't say it because of my mama. But like I told my cousin, who gives a I don't give a what these motherfuckers think. I'm not going. Him. And where they burying the motherfucker at. Yeah, that would have been me. I wouldn't have went to Trump's inauguration. Michelle, I'm happy you just said what you said. You didn't want to go. And now we all know you and Obama are not getting a divorce, which I knew that in the first place, but yeah. But I'm glad you came and said it. I didn't want to. You didn't make up no story. She kept it 100.
This is why people think crazy about black people. Listen to her on this podcast.
We don't articulate as black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's
Will
that.
they care?
If we knew, I think we would care. If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
We have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives, is why wait to be asked?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud.
No matter how rich you are, no matter how successful you are, you're still complaining. Why are they talking like this? There's not this black women don't have a right to express themselves. Yes, they do. But the problem is when you're successful, you steady complaining instead of talking about excellence. If you look at any statistical data, they argue that black women are most educated per capita. Black women are the most successful, entrepreneurial. They got better jobs and opportunities that they have taken advantage of greater than even black men. And they're talking about black women are the most educated out of any group of women in America. You got to pick which side you on. Are y'all getting alienated? You can't express yourself, or y'all killing it? Which one is it, Michelle Obama?
So in today's video, we're actually going to see how Michelle Obama has come out to say why she did not attend the Trump inauguration ceremony, as contrary to what was expected of her. You know, previous president and the wife should always attend or something like that. Like, it's implied, it's not expressed, it's just implied. But anyway, it was not a must